Okay, don't do the extreme close-up of my fucking fat chin like Brian did last year.
No, I can't help it if you got a fat chin. I was
true.
cropping it so people see face, because face is what people are looking for.
Ready when you are.
Hey guys, Brian here, Stogie Review, IPCPR 2013. Almost forgot the year. It's easy to do. You know who this is, but I'm going to tell you. It's Skip Martin, RoMa Craft. You may have heard of his cigars. He's got quite a few of them. He's got some new stuff going on here. Tell us about it, man.
Do I make you nervous, Brian?
You do, man.
I make you tingle?
A little bit. Like all up and down the spine.
No, so this is our second year here. Like you guys know, it's our third year making cigars. We don't have a lot of new stuff. We're not really about slinging out tons of product, but we do have a couple of new things. So in the Cro-Magnon line and the Aquitaine line, the first thing you're going to notice is we have labels. So, no one really ever asked us to put labels on the cigars, but we figured maybe it would add to the ability to recognize them. No, it's like the number one thing that I would ever hear is, I love your cigar, it's great, but I need labels.
I put it in my humidor, I forget what it is. That could be a problem.
Yeah. And the label actually probably adds about 10% flavor to the cigar.
It does, yeah. I've heard 15%.
That much, right?
Well, you double up on the labels.
On the
that's like 20%.
On the smaller sizes, because there's a more of a label to tobacco ratio, you get a little bit more
flavor on the label.
Yeah. So we do have a new size in the Cro-Magnon called the Mode 5, which is a 5x50 Perfecto. It's cut a little bit different on the foot than the Tobac in the Connecticut, but it's the same mold. We also have these store exclusive sizes. You guys know about the Epic that we did for Riverside, the Churchill. We got the box press cranium called the Blockhead that we're doing for Tower Cigar and for Tobacco Grove in Minnesota.
Okay.
And we're doing this Petite Salomon called the Venus for our field in Hawaii. So one of the things that we've really found to be a value add is being able to do these special sizes and established blends for those retailers that are in high tax places that are very highly engaged online. Yeah. So these guys aren't going to be able to sell a lot of online cigars on retail online sites, but by having the exclusive size, like Marvin in Hawaii did the T110 before.
Yeah.
Tower has done a Viaje in the past, and so this thing works for them. Jeff's done really great with the Churchill, so having the factory, we were able to do that. In the ashtray, you kind of see those sizes as well as the Slobber Knocker and the Atlato, which is something that, because they're Tabacchiato, we still only do them for events. But Podwicka from Podman sells those as well.
Oh, okay.
The only other new thing we have is we've added a third line. We have Cro-Magnon and Intemperance, but we've added Craft, which is the La Campana de Panama Soberana is this year's edition of Craft. It's a 5x60 Bella Figurado. It's a some people call it a trompetta or a bell. Our original factory was in the neighborhood of Panama Soberana. And in that neighborhood, there's about 5 churches that, when we were out in the factory at night, we could hear the church bells. So the Bell of Panama Soberana is the name that we gave this year's craft cigar. And Jerry will get a picture of the back, but the box is hand painted, the box is hand cut, the RoMa symbol in the top of the box is all done by hand. The cigar is made tabacchiato in newspaper instead of molds.
Okay.
The entire project is a demonstration of our ability to make great cigars using established techniques and solid tobacco. So those will be 10 count boxes, up to 10 per retailer, 1,000 boxes total, so about 10,000 cigars total. We've been making them for about 7 months. We have one pair that does nothing but make La Campanas. Okay. So they're a great cigar.
It's a nice looking smoke. The bands around there.
Yeah, so the filler, there's 6 kinds of filler. There's the binder is the broadleaf from the Cro-Magnon. The wrapper is the Habano from the Aquitaine. The little flourishes are from Ecuador, Connecticut, and Apodaca.
Okay.
So it has 10 different kinds of tobacco in it.
10.
But the process itself is what makes it a limited cigar.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to do it. If a cigar is going to cost $15 and it's going to be a limited edition cigar, it's got to be limited for a reason. And there really is no such thing as limited tobacco.
Yeah.
I only bought so much of it limited tobacco. But these are limited more because of the process, because they're time consuming, because and we wanted to add every piece along the way, even to the cellophane is cut by hand, but because I wanted to make a point about there's a difference between there's a lot of variation in the making of cigars. From some of our cigars, like the Parejos, are made with a Lieberman machine.
Yeah.
And the only reason is so that our people can work consistently faster, so they can make more money. All of our Figurados, Perfectos, and everything are done without a Lieberman, and these are done without a press or a mold.
Yeah.
So there's all different kinds of level within the Hecho a Mano, right? So, and then we also have the Femur, which started when I was drunk one night. We were talking about the big bottles of wine and the big bottles of like Grey
Magnums,
Goose that
yeah.
you see in a bar. And would it be possible to make? How big could you make a cigar so that it was still exactly the same process as making a normal cigar? You know, I mean, Gran Habano made one as big as a house,
Yeah.
but that was a completely different process.
Yes.
So how big can you make a cigar using the process of using bunching by hand, long
Same
filler?
way you would make these other ones.
Exactly
Yeah.
the same way. So we started by making the 235 by 10, and what we found from that was we have a mold literally that's a 235, but we couldn't get the wrapper big enough to use one wrapper. So this size is proportionally the same as a mandible. It's 10 by 133, which is the same as a 4.5 by 60, and it is every bit as good as a mandible. It's long filler, 100%, bunched by 2 people at one time, 4 hands bunch it at one time.
So you've seriously smoked one of these?
I have never smoked one.
Oh, okay.
Theoretically, you could,
Yeah.
and the idea behind it is just like a Magnum of wine. It's made the exact same label, quality.
To share with a room of people, basically?
Yeah, you
Take
could
a puff and pass it around?
You could do that. You
Yeah.
could probably hook up a hookah machine to this thing.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it was to have a demonstration for
A demonstration of skill, basically.
of skill that
Yeah.
we can do in our factory. And honestly, I think
You're not trying to compensate for anything, are you, with that?
I think that's the largest production cigar. I'm sure there'll be a 9 by 90, a 10 by 100. So
Yeah.
we just said fuck it and made a 10 by 133. And like Jose Blanco says, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that won't physically fit into a mouth.
Well, Brooks has committed to smoking it,
Really?
so we'll see how that works out.
I would try it, but
Yeah.
man, I don't know. That's probably 5 hours straight, 6 hours of smoking for me.
Yeah.
So what do we? You said $15. Is that about what this retails for?
15 retail, yeah.
Okay. How about what are we looking at for down
So
here?
all the Cro-Magnons go from $650 to $850. So the
Yeah.
new Mo 5 is $650, just like the Knuckle Dragger.
Okay.
So I'm sure that will be Jerry's new favorite.
He's been instructed that is the case.
The Intemperance goes from like 5 to 7.
Okay.
We probably will be looking at a price increase. We've been making cigars for 3 years without changing the price.
Yeah.
But our cost on the Apodaca wrapper and the broadleaf has gone up significantly.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably see is the Connecticut and the Apodaca separate, and the broadleaf and the Habano separate by about 50 cents.
Okay.
So, because the costs have gone up about 23.4 cents per
That,
cigar.
that makes sense. That's about
Yeah.
approximately. Just shooting from the hip.
Yeah. Esteban always. So we buy the vegetable gum. We buy it in by the pound, and 2 ounces will make enough for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I have a spreadsheet that can tell me how much vegetable gum we will consume if we make X number of cigars. So I can tell you per cigar how much vegetable gum we use, and it's different for a small cigar and a big cigar. So.
Or if I roll it, because I just gum the whole damn thing up. I use 2 weeks worth on one cigar. I've done that.
So, And really, I say that as a joke, but the reality is,
No, you got to watch your costs. That's what a business is about. If you don't watch your costs, they're going to kill you.
that's true. The reality is when
Also, you're anal and OCD, but
that's
whatever.
true too.
Yeah.
But I think people always want to talk about how they're different from other companies, and the reality is, almost anybody can make a great cigar or a good cigar, and they can go buy tobacco from the same place as we do. I mean, we are able to buy from the free zone, which is a little bit of an advantage, but they can go buy the same kind of quality tobacco we do, and they can find people who have a lot of experience. They can roll it, and they can make a pretty box and a label, and they can make a good cigar. The hard part is making a good cigar consistently, and all of the business around the supply chain, the logistics, the becoming efficient. When we first started importing cigars, just because of scale, on top of the 41 cents of S-chip, we were paying another 50, 60 cents for air freight, packaging, transportation, broker fees, those kinds of things. So you're talking about 90 cents on the wholesale level just for the shipping of the cigar.
Which becomes around $2 at the retail level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're keystoning that, it's another $1.82.
As people typically are.
Right. And now we've got that down on top of S-chip to about 7 or 8 cents a cigar, which is competitive with the guys who are sending whole containers.
Yeah.
And that is a huge deal. That kind of thing is something we do in every part of the factory. What can we do to make it efficient, to remove cost, to add value? And we put some of that in our pocket, and it's also some of that is why we sell great $5 cigars, great $7 cigars. And at the end of the day, tobacco is tobacco. The challenge is making great cigars consistently.
Yeah.
Can you make mild cigars as good as you make strong cigars? And something Jerry points out a lot of times on the Great Torpedo, the weekend review, is that when he tries other things in our line, he finds that he likes them just as much. They're just a different kind of cigar, and that's really what we're trying to do. So, we'll keep doing it, and hopefully in 10, 15 years, even if some of these other guys aren't around, we'll be a little bit bigger, still doing quality cigars like we do today. So
yeah.
that's our goal.
We're going to expect it. We're holding you to it. You're gonna have to be
and a
around
lot
for...
of pictures of food.
Yes. And probably your Florida Cana rum.
Florida Cana, yeah. I think we've got 30 liters of Grand Reserva 7 in the room.
Oh, jeez.
So,
hey, wow, 30 liters.
well, the big one is called the Pod de Elefante, the foot of the elephant. Oh. So Esteban in Nicaragua, Esteban calls me the Cazador de Elefante, the elephant hunter.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that the heart of the elephant? Oh, yeah. That's Corazon. Yeah.
Corazon de Elefante.
Yeah.
I'd eat that. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you fried it with bacon, I'd probably eat
That's
it.
right, yeah. So, hey, man, this is great. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
Thank you for stopping by, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Jerry.